true story, that happened to us last year when we were in Eretz Yisrael for Hanukkah. And Rabbi Shapiro knows all about our trips to Israel for Hanukkah. But anyway, we were there, and we had the opportunity to meet with a tzaddik in Yerushalayim. And we wanted to go and meet with him and ask him for a bracha. His name was Rabbi Simcha Levin, the son of the very famous Rabbi Aryeh Levin. Now, he was nifter a couple months ago. He was a very old man. He was a very special, holy man. He was in his 90s for sure. He was in ill health. He was not well. But he would see people. We got an appointment for around 7 o'clock at night. And he lived in a little apartment in Geula on the 2nd floor in an apartment building. We went, we waited by the door in this little corridor, and soon we were joined by another family from New York. And we were both waiting there, us and them. And they had a small son with them. And soon we were joined by other people. And before I knew it, the entire corridor going down the stairs and out into the street were filled with people, all waiting quietly, all waiting to meet this tzaddik. And we were waiting our turn. The door opened, and it was our turn. And we walked in with the other family from New York. And as we walked in, my heart was pounding. I was so scared. I assumed that the other family was also there to receive a bracha. I assumed wrong. My heart started pounding even more when the story came out that they had been there a year or two earlier with their child. Their child had been sick. And they flew to Israel. They went to the home of Rabbi Simcha Levin for a bracha at that time. And he had given them a bracha that he should have a refuah shalema. Since then, he was given a clean bill of health, and he should be well on Me'ah V'Esrim. But girls, this family decided that they are going to get back on a plane, fly back to Eretz Yisrael, wait again in that corridor, and go back into the apartment of this holy tzaddik to say thank you. That is Hakaras HaTov. And they even had a driver downstairs waiting to take them to Bnei Brak, to the home of Rav Chaim Kanievsky, because they wanted to say thank you to Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky also, because he had also given them a bracha when they needed it most. That is Hakaras HaTov. I told this story to my brother. My brother's a posek in Yerushalayim, and he told me the following story. He knew of a woman who had a terrible problem, and she didn't know what to do. So she decided to go to the Kosel for 40 days in a row to beseech Hashem for an answer to her dilemma. And she went. She traveled on 2 buses there and 2 buses back, and on Shabbos she would walk. And she went for 40 days, and she never missed a day. Hashem sent her the solution to her problem, and so she decided to go back to the Kosel for another 40 days to say thank you. Girls, that's Hakaras HaTov. Don't think for a moment that I'm going to ask you girls to come back after you graduate. That's not what I'm trying to say. Hakaras HaTov is gratitude. I'm going to give you one more story. A friend of mine, Karen Trout, gave me an incredible book. It's called The Garden of Gratitude. And she gave it to me last year, and I read it once, and I read it twice, and I read it probably 100 times, and I know it basically by heart. But there was one story that just resonated with me, and I will always remember it. It's a story of a big gadol in Eretz Yisrael, and it never said the name. But there was a gadol who had a dream one night, a very powerful dream. In the dream, he ascended to the upper worlds. He went to Shamayim, and he saw a huge room, much bigger than this, the biggest room he'd ever seen. And it was filled with tens of thousands of malachim everywhere. And they were so busy running to and fro, they didn't stop for a second. And he had never seen a busier place. So he asked somebody, I'm sorry, what is this room? And he was told, this is the call center. When people have bakashos, and people have things that they daven for, and people need yeshuos, they call here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're on call. Then, in his dream, he went to a different room, and it was even bigger than the first room. It was enormous, with tens upon tens of thousands of malachim running everywhere, doing a million different things. No one stopped for a second. He had never seen a busier place. And he asked someone, excuse me, what is this room? And he was told, this is the answer center. Malachim are being sent down every second to help people with their problems. All of those yeshuos that people daven for, we're taking care of it. This is the answer center. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Then, in the dream, he went to one more room. And this room was really very small. A small room with maybe a handful of malachim. And they didn't look busy. They looked like they didn't really have too much to do. And he asked one of them, excuse me, what is this room? And a malach said to him, this is also a call center. Only this is the call center when people call to say thank you, when they've received their yeshuos, when they've received their gifts. This is the call center for that. Girls, you've all been given an incredible gift. You've been given the gift of an excellent education. And you've also been given the gift of a wonderful school experience. Personally, on a personal level, I can say that from the day we started with Beis Yaakov, when our oldest was going into kindergarten in 1996, until today, 2015, and our youngest is graduating. Yes, I am the oldest woman in the room. I can honestly say that Beis Yaakov has been a safe haven for our girls. The hakaras hatov that we feel to this school is immeasurable. I don't even have the words, and I'm a writer, I don't even have the words to express the hakaras hatov I feel to this school. Hakaras hatov doesn't even begin to express it. we feel, that Beis Yaakov partnered with us in helping raise our daughters become the women that they are today. Girls, you're graduating. You're leaving the comfort of these walls, and you're going to go on, and you're going to go to seminary and beyond. And the best way for you to show your hakaras hatov is to be the best women that you can be. Be living, breathing examples of all the kochos and all the efforts that were invested in you by your teachers, by your principals, by your parents. My bracha to you is that you should all continue to bring us collectively much nachas. I feel like I know this grade. Half of you I've taught, and the other half have grown up in my house. So I feel like I know you all very well. Bring us all collectively much nachas, and I am sure that you will. Enjoy this beautiful milestone. It is only the first of many more to come. And don't forget, appreciate all the people who have helped you get to where you are today and where you're going to go from here. Mazel tov.